welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm doing a video that I haven't done in a long time. And by long time, I mean, I think it was July where I did a mini book haul, but not really. It was like me going to a special edition romance bookstore and then showing you the like 2 or 3 books that I got. This is a collective haul for the books I've acquired over the past several months, and I figured what's a better time to post a book haul than in the month of December. But the full disclaimer here, I'm going to tell you whether or not I purchased these books myself or whether they were a gift, because I feel like that's important for me to disclaim. I picked up Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks. I got this from the New Romantics, which is a romance bookstore here in Orlando. So if you're in the Orlando area, or you will be, I highly recommend it. You go to the New Romantics romance bookstore. But Morbidly Yours follows the story of Lark. And Lark is dealing with some pretty serious trauma and grief. I believe her husband has just passed away. And she moves to Ireland after the death of her husband. She's an animator and she's just trying to process her grief and move away from that area. But she ends up moving in next to a funeral home. And this is how we get introduced to the hero, Callum. Callum is part of the family business. I believe he is an undertaker, and he has this clause in his inheritance that if he's not married by 35, he doesn't get the inheritance. And that's a big problem because Callum is very awkward, not great with speaking with women, not really interested in doing that. And Ivy hears of his dilemma and decides to help him. As these things go, these two are going to fall in love. I've been hearing really positive things about this book for the past like year or so. I think it was traditionally published recently, and I'm very excited to finally read it. So of course, when I saw the copy at the New Romantics, I did pick it up for myself, and this was with my own money. And I have Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. This is a book that I've been looking forward to all year. It is a new release, and it is a sapphic Christmas romance. In this story, I'm gonna be so real right now, I did not know the premise of the story, but messy. Okay, so we're following Charlotte, and Charlotte, like a year ago, was left at the altar by her fiance, and she's trying to put her life back together, right? She's like, I love my life in Manhattan. I love New York. I'm part of this really amazing string quartet. I'm having a great time. Yes, my mom almost never speaks to me, but that's fine. Everything is good. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. And her quartet mate, her bandmate, invites her to go to her family's home in the mountains, really quiet, really peaceful, and they'll have a lot more time to practice. So Charlotte agrees to do that. Except that what she doesn't know is that Adele, her bandmate's sister, actually brings her own friend to the event. Guess who the friend is? Yeah. It's Brighton, Charlotte's ex. I told you it was messy. I told you it was messy. Quite honestly, if I went to a lodge and the person that was there was the fiance that left me at the altar, I'm leaving. However, this is a romance. It's a forced proximity, second chance romance. So these two are going to fall in love again. And I'm very curious to see how Ashley Herring Blake pulls that off, because again, if that was me, I'd be getting in the snowmobile and getting the fuck out of there. And this was a gift from a friend, so it was free to me. This is The Fake Flame. This is a book that has been on my TBR for quite a while. It's a firefighter romance. So here we're following a literature professor, Ava. And Ava has a creepy ex, one who doesn't understand boundaries and is extremely manipulative. And Ava's ignoring him, so he decides to do a grand gesture by bringing a baby piano onto the college quad and playing her a song that she doesn't even like. And she's like, no, you're a piece of shit. I told you stop contacting me and stop stalking me and leave me the fuck alone. Of course, to bystanders, it looks romantic, but Ava is at the end of her rope. She's fucking pissed. And you know what she does? Lights the piano on fire. Lights it on fire. And I'm like, good for you, girl. Good for you. But of course, that summons the firefighters. And we have Sean, our firefighter hero, who comes and is like trying to calm Ava down and talk her down. It's like, maybe don't set pianos on fire. Listens to her situation, realizes that her ex really has no boundaries and is just outright harassing her, and they decide to fake date so that her ex can get the fucking hint and leave her alone. This sounds like it's gonna be such a good time, largely because it's a firefighter romance, and I'm just really looking forward to reading it. And I was so excited when my friend gave it to me because I was like, yes, I do want to read it. So this will definitely be perhaps on my December TBR, but we will see. The 7-10 split. This is an ARC copy because, again, it was a gift from my friend. My friend is also someone who reviews books and she gets lots of ARCs. She had already finished this one, so she gave it to me. And the 7-10 split is a Black romance about two teachers. All right, so we have a Black sapphic romance between two teachers, and this is the story of Ava and Grace. Ava has been a teacher at this small school for quite a while, and for several years she has been pushing for a bowling team. Ava used to bowl with someone who is also a competitive bowler, Grace. Grace was her best friend. They were super, super close. I heard they shared this kiss and it ruined their friendship. They stopped speaking and she feels like Grace kind of betrayed her and she has hurt feelings about this. For some reason or another, Grace is now also teaching at this school and their principal says, yeah, let's have a bowling team. Ava has been pushing for this for years, but the principal gives it to Grace. And now they are co-coaching the high school bowling team. And of course, we're going to have a rekindling of their feelings, exploration of what happened. But it's a Black sapphic romance, and that's really all I needed to know. This looks super cute. It sounds like it's going to be a good time. I think it may make me cry, but I'm very excited to have this in my hand. This is also an ARC that my friend gave me. I had never heard of this book, but this is The Unfinished. And The Unfinished follows Avery. This is a YA thriller horror situation. Avery is in the woods one day and she ends up awakening this kind of being or presence that takes different forms and is now snatching people from the town. Avery's trying to work through this and trying to understand what's happening, but the next person to disappear is actually her best friend, Key. And now Avery has a choice. She can listen to her family, she can listen to her elders and save the town, or she can risk everything and save Key. My friend told me this was a really good time, but this is also an Indigenous story written by an Indigenous author, and I'm very excited to read this. I love horror, I love spooky shit. Set in the woods, missing people, that sounds like a Shar book to me, so I'm really hoping that I'm going to love this book. If you're not new here, you know that a couple of weeks ago, my same friend who gave me these books turned 32. It was her birthday, and she had this really wonderful birthday party, and they did a book swap. And the book that I ended up getting from that book swap is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, which is very, very good luck because this is the only book in this series that I have not read. So this follows the story of Cinnamon. Cinnamon is a farmer in this kind of mythical alternate reality, and they are living under this goddess because they need protection from demons. However, Cinnamon is blind drunk one day, stumbling through the forest, and she encounters a demon, and he is telling her essentially everything she thought she knew is wrong, and the goddess is really just someone who's oppressing the demon race and using their power for herself. And Cinnamon is now on a journey with our hero, our demon character, to the demon realm, and he's on a mission obviously to free his people who are enslaved by this so-called goddess. He's pissed as fuck. He's a dragon, but Kimberly Lemming, I love her books. I love her sense of humor. I love how lighthearted these books are. This is the only book in the series I haven't read, so I am really looking forward to reading this. This is the final book that I purchased with my own money, and we have Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. A few weeks ago, I went to a romance book fair, and Peyton Corinne was there selling her books, and I met her. I got a book, and this is a really kind of devastating story, to be honest with you, but something that I am enjoying so far. In this story, we're following Reese and Sadie. Now, Reese is kind of a pro hockey player, has a very bright future, and is the son of someone who was a very, very famous hockey player. However, several months, some amount of time ago, he got into a really bad hockey accident. I'm talking life-threatening, really scared him, and after that point, he has had panic attacks ever since and had difficulty with getting back on the ice. However, he wants to get back on the ice and he's trying. And his introduction to that is helping coach this little, what do you call a kids hockey team? I want to say little league, but I think that's baseball. Let me know in the comments what it's actually called, but he's doing that. And one of the kids, or two of the kids on this team, are Sadie's brother. Now, he doesn't know that Sadie is their sister, so when she shows up late to pick them up, he kind of scouts her. He has no business doing that, but he does. And then she goes off on him, and she's like, the fuck, you don't know me, you don't know the situation, shut up, leave us alone, goodbye. The thing is, they go to the same college, so in the morning when Sadie is skating, that's the only time she's able to skate in the morning because she has so much responsibility for raising her siblings siblings and what's going on with her father in the background, she ends up seeing Reese. And Reese is literally middle of ice, just absolutely having a panic attack, can't breathe. And she decides to like help him. She's trying to coach him through it. And they develop this relationship, kind of centering their love of the ice and skating, with Sadie helping him out with his panic attacks and helping him through that so that he can get back on the ice. I say it's emotionally devastating just because of the deeper conversations that are being had here around both of the trauma that these characters are experiencing, but also Sadie's home life is very sad and heavy. And I'm just gonna give you a trigger warning right now. Sadie's father is an alcoholic, and I want to make sure you know that before you decide to pick this book up. But if you know me, you also know that I love emotional depth in stories. So I was enjoying this while I was reading it, and I will get back to it very soon. And then we have the final 3 books on my little haul. All of these were gifts. So we have Savor It by Tara DeWitt. This is a story that I admittedly don't know a ton about. I know that we're following a woman who enters a competition in a small town, kind of to spite her ex, but she just wants a win of her own. And then we have this man who is dealing with a lot of grief. I believe his sister passed away. He has custody of his niece. He is struggling with his like Michelin star restaurant in New York, and he gets sent away by his boss to this small town, but he just needs time away. These two end up working together on the competition, and of course they fall in love. I've heard nothing but positive things about this, and I'm ready to be emotionally rocked by the story, but also to love this relationship. Another story that I heard would be emotionally devastating. Again, I got this book for my birthday. It was a gift. This is Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto. In this one, we are following 2 musicians. They are part of like this orchestra in New York. It's kind of like a Rivals to Lover because Xander, the hero of the story, has always been criticizing our heroine, Gwen, but they end up having to work together because Gwen is given first chair in this orchestra. And the hero is very upset about this because he wanted that himself. I think I've said this before, but what I'm going to continue to emphasize here is this man better be on his knees by the end of this, because what the hell do you mean you spent years disrespecting her? What do you mean you're mad she got the role and you didn't? So he's got groveling to do from page 1 for me. And the final book I picked up, which was a beautiful Christmas gift from my mother, is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. This is a book that I knew nothing about, but Riley from Riley Marie on her Patreon, this was her December book club pick. So when I saw it at Books A Million for 50% off, my mom got it for me. And this is a murder mystery romance, which again, if you know me, you know I love the horror, scary elements with some romance in there. So this is going to be a really fun balance for me. And we also have enemies to, or rivals to lovers. So in this book, we're following Ethan and Maggie. Now, Maggie is one of the top cozy mystery writers out there. And then Ethan is Mr. Big Shot Thriller, right? They have had a rivalry for a long time. They don't really get along, and he refuses to call her by her correct name. He keeps calling her Marcy. And she's like, you know my name is Maggie. Like, stop it. But they both get this invitation by like this wealthy fan to come to this estate to kind of like do like a writing retreat situation. Except when they get there, the host is this super famous, well-known like queen of the mystery herself, Eleanor Ashley. And Eleanor Ashley is known as the Duchess of Death. However, when they're there, Ashley disappears. She disappears out of a locked room, and now they're both left wondering what the hell is going on. Is this part of some like bigger scheme, or is Ashley actually in danger? And they have to figure it out. Like I said, a mystery rom-com cozy element. I'm hoping that there are scenes in here that are a little bit scary, but that is the final book that I have acquired over the past several months. Please let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books. I would love to know. If there's any books that you think I'm going to absolutely love, let me know. Or if there's a book that you want to see me read in a reading vlog, you can let me know as well. This is one of the first videos going up in my 12 Days of Char series. So if you leave your comment early enough, you may see this in a later video this month. If you have gotten to the end of this video and you would like to let me know that you did, you can leave me a little tree emoji in the comments, just because holiday season and I'm surrounded by greenery. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you the day after tomorrow. Bye.